welcome to episode 3 of Dystopia Rising Evolution. I am Travis Legge. I will be your story guide for the evening. And when last we met, we left our adventurers licking their wounds a little bit in basically the loading dock area of this superstructure inside of the Shady Side area of the pit. You had taken a contract to go and collect some medical supplies, this stash of supplies that was allegedly relatively easy to reach, but on the way there began to develop some suspicions of the gentleman you were traveling with, a guy by the name of Jester, who claimed to be coming from Detroit, but as you've recently discovered, that's his backstory isn't exactly what he said it was. And if I recall properly, wasn't it Vest that beat Jester's head in with a bat at the end of the last session?
Yep, that happened.
Gave him a little bit of the Lucille's goodbye. And you did manage to fight off kind of the first wave of these dread surgeons. But before Jester died, he did mention something to you about needing parts for the Juggernaut. And I believe that's where we will rejoin our adventurers today. So, was anyone injured?
Oh yeah.
I knew there were a couple people that were carrying some fatigue.
Yeah.
Excellent. And were you going to try to wait that out? Were you going to try some first aid? What were you going to try to do to address your current health situation? Were you going to hop back into the Mac and turn around and go home? I mean, that is an option that's on the table. It's down a gun at this point.
It's not down a gun. It works-ish as a club sometimes.
Down a gun, up a club. Still weapon.
But we still have all the eyes.
That's true.
If first aid is an option, I would try to quickly patch up those who needed patching up. Although I believe I'm bleeding. I also have a fatigue and I'm bleeding.
Okay. Let me just take a quick peek here. So how much fatigue are you sitting at?
I wrote it on the first one, and then I took away the 2 of the boxes on bruised, which I think is indicating to myself that I have two boxes down, but also am fatigued for 1.
Right. Fair
rank.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And who else is at what health conditions at this point? Any other conditions people are packing that they're looking to get rid of?
I have like 2 levels of fatigue.
Okay.
I don't have... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Fixer fixed me up already.
Yeah. I don't have any marked, but I could have sworn that there was a shot. It's been a while. I don't want to cheese out of having a wound.
Yeah, I think Fixer got me at the end of last one because I have nothing marked.
I had thought, and I could be mistaken, that you actually took a wound lep from when that gun melted.
Yeah, I mean, let's just run with that. I didn't.
I thought you were like
but
bruised or something like that. I think. So
I'd rather take the wound than not. So works for me.
I'm just digging through and looking up a couple of things about healing real quick to see what options you may have beyond simple first aid. I know that no one has any faith healing, correct?
I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You do have the option of employing that.
No, I didn't buy the little gun of faith healing. I only bought the big gun of faith healing, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. And are there any other like downtime-ish activities or things that you'd like to do to secure the location while I'm digging through these rules?
Fixer's gonna fix, so I'm gonna focus on that. But I'm sure other people are going to be doing other things.
Okay. And you are resting for the single scene without interruption, so that would clear any fatigue conditions. So
I'm gonna use like some technology and see if I can jury rig the garage door to stay shut and the entrance in. See if I can jury rig something to keep that shut or trapped as well.
Excuse me. Shutting the interior garage door is doable. Shutting like the outside, like the ramp down in, short of employing demolitions, you're not going to be able to do much for it. I mean, it's a giant ramp that was designed for semis to go up and down. So unless you like blow the roof out of it, which you're welcome to try if you have explosives, you have some missiles.
I was about to say, we do have a missile launcher. But wouldn't that also collapse our way out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go bigger, but go home.
All right. Well, I'm gonna at least get one aside.
You're going to have to choose between freedom and security here, is all I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead and give me, what would that be, like a tech? Do you have any, like a jury rig ability or like a edge that assists with that? I think you might be muted. Yep. You're totally still muted.
I have tech whiz.
Oh, right on. And that provides you with a bonus on jury rigging rolls. Is that correct?
That's on a crafting or repair roll. I can add half my rating rounded down in a second skill to operate the device or use the device. I don't know if that is something that's helpful.
I'll say that'll apply, yeah, because you're really what you're trying to do is get that door to. Well, hold on. I'm trying to remember. The one door was jammed. The one door actually got, I believe, destroyed.
One of the doors and the columns to the left and to the right of it got blowed the hell up.
Right. That one you're not going to be able to do a whole lot with other than maybe setting up a trap. The other two, go ahead and give me like a tech roll. And then what skill would you like to add through that edge?
I don't know, would science count? Because there's not a lot of other things or like.
Science could be fine. Yeah, maybe you're seeing like what chemicals that you have or what items you might have on the truck or that you can pull off of these various dread surgeon corpses. Yeah. It's not necessarily going to assist you with actually repairing the door, but you said repair or trap.
Yep.
So I'll allow it. Yeah, and go ahead and add
what's
half
the attribute I should roll with?
That is, what do you think is best? What do you think is most fitting?
Cunning or dexterity? Am I being clever or being quick to work?
Okay, yeah. Either of those I would go with. Is there one that you have a preference for?
Cunning.
All right, nice. So it's a total of 4 successes that we're looking at. So I will let you effectively, you can either set those up as an increased difficulty to any attempt to get into the room, or a complication that somebody would have to overcome to get into the room. And the way that would really sort of reflect narratively would be like an increased difficulty would be like reinforcements to the door, actually barricading it with stuff, possibly even physically moving things over to be in the way. Whereas the complication would be like, I'm going to set up these dart guns with a tripwire. And if they don't buy off the complication, they're getting shot in the face with a dart when they come to it.
Okay, I'll do that one.
All right. So just dumping all 4 into the complications.
Yep.
I do. I have. Excellent. And then you didn't have any fatigue, correct? Right. Okay, cool. Because the one thing is if you are taking other actions during the scene, you won't regain fatigue, but that's fine. All right. So I think everybody who could be first aided has been, because we did that at the end of the last session.
I think I still need to do LEP.
That's quite possible.
Yep.
Because
I'm still up in the turret.
Yep. Why don't you go ahead and give me a roll for LEP? But because you are performing first aid, you will not be regaining your fatigue if you still have it. That's
okay. I'm used to situations that are stressful with a group like this.
That's fair.
So medicine and intellect.
Burn my fingies.
You burned your fingies?
Well, most of them.
It's like a 3rd degree burn, man.
That one went off completely.
You're absolutely able to throw some Silvadine on the fingertips.
Stop being a baby about it.
Stop hurting me more.
I'm not hurting you more. I'm fixing you. It just hurts when you get fixed because you're very broken.
I'm not broken.
Okay, you're not broken. You're fine.
About a minute after Lep shouts, "Ow!" you hear like as all of the guns that you've set up go off, and like you see another one of the interns like stumble forward and fall over into the parking garage.
Get him.
It's never gonna have to set that up again. Appreciate it.
Okay. You should be all good to go, Lep. I think.
The emotional scars are still there.
Me too.
What?
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
You heard Linux. As you're like still there futzing around, I'm actively just going to be watching over towards where Linux is to make sure that they have some sort of guard, since I am a ranged combatant. I don't want her getting jumped while she's reloading the guns.
That's fair. As you get over there, Linux, you can clearly see that this surgeon, while absolutely and deeply unconscious at this point, is still breathing. You're muted again.
It's still live.
Make it unalive.
All right.
Do you want to question?
You don't question raiders, you destroy them and purge them from the planet.
Okay, that's fine.
My fingers still hurt.
It's not really a challenge for you to kill them if you just take their head
Take
off.
my shiv and
Shut their brain off like a light. Whilst all this is going on, what are Vess and Emil doing?
Vess is being very sullen and angry and cleaning off the goop from her bat.
I kind of imagine Emil is standing near Vess, but not in an I'm standing with you way. Just he's kind of leaning on his walking stick and seems displeased, but inwardly, if that makes sense. He's having a big dad are having a bad time.
Right on. You can kind of hear there's like a background of Clutch like swearing and slamming shit around inside of the Mac, though like trying to be quiet, just being really bad at it, just like like scream whispering, like fucking garbage shit, fuck.
So, do you guys want to go get those medical supplies? Since we're here already, and
Are we gonna go kill them?
yeah, I think it's a good idea. And
You make me so happy.
I'm for it.
we're gonna need time to fix the truck, so we're not doing anything anyway. And
Bess and Emil, what do you think?
I'm for it.
Sounds like a plan.
We need the supplies.
Yeah. Okay. Still want a truck.
All right,
We're
so
gonna kill all of them.
is there anything in particular that you're loading up to bring with you as you head in?
Are there any additional weapons in the truck that we didn't already bring with us?
As far as personal armaments go, you didn't see any when you were riding down. But if you go in and like ask Clutch or start looking around, there is a series of locked lockers along the back of the Mac.
Hey, Clutch, what's in here? And she bangs her fist on the lockers.
Couple of guns for a rainy day.
have a grappling hook in there?
Do I have a grappling hook?
Yeah.
She
Just
gets
in
up
case.
and like runs over and unlocks the door. Grappling hook, grappling hook. She like throws a couple of bolt throwers over her shoulder. Grappling hook. No, you know what? I took it out because I had to help patch the mayor's roof, and I forgot to put it back in here.
Sack.
Did you forget to put it back in here, or did Mayor's daughter take it for strangely suspicious overnight activities?
I mean,
What would Electra do with a grappling hook? That makes absolutely no sense.
I mean, it's not impossible. She's a scary, scary, scary child.
I know she is. She scares me.
And she scares everybody. I think the mayor has done everything in her power to ensure that she scares everybody.
So I don't know about you, but it seems like a pretty rainy day right now.
I mean,
Care
that's
to open
fair. Yeah, she pops the rest of them. Inside, you find there are the 2 bolt pistols that she threw over her shoulders. There are 3 hunting rifles and a sawed-off shotgun. And you also see a large, suspicious tank that has backpack straps on it and what appears to be a wand connected to a tube.
It's a watering tank.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should take it. Hydration is very important.
Says I wouldn't drink out of that if I were you. That is not a watering tank. That is it's for clearing brush. It's a flamethrower.
Oh, yes. Well, I hear that these places can be very overgrown. We should take it just in case and clear all the brush out of our way that will likely get in our way. Yep.
Gives one shotgun.
She picks it up and hands it to Fixer. And she says, remember that if you light a raider on fire, that just means you're fighting a flaming raider.
But does that make it better or worse?
I mean, you use your own judgment because I'm staying out here in this locked ass car until you get back. But I don't know, burn responsibly.
So this seems like oh my God, Lap. This seems like a tech sort of device, and I'm good at many things like fixing people and fixing cars and even
Just give the
occasionally.
burninator to Linux.
Okay, here you go, Linux.
That means you got
a rope or anything.
It means you got to give up that shoddy.
She hands you a roll of duct tape and 6 bungee cords. Best I've got.
You suck. Can you fix the car while we're gone?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have the parts I need for that. Use rope on my car. She starts climbing up to the top.
All right, who wants a shoddy?
Hey,
All right. So you may distribute the firearms at your leisure.
unless Emil, you would prefer the shotgun.
So I say
Very
2.
concern was that aim isn't necessarily my forte, and a shotgun would theoretically make aim less of a component.
Makes sense. Hands it to him. Please don't shoot me.
I will.
Shotgun matches your outfit.
I feel like all Emil needs right now, Emil, just so you're aware, we're getting you a rocking chair after this.
What do you mean after this? I'm going to make one out of raiders.
If you present me with a wheelchair, I will place myself in it.
On that note, Emil's taking the shotgun. Linux is taking the flamethrower. If you look, those weapons are all in the DRE core book. If you need the stats, I can paste them into the chat though. And then we've got the 2 hunting rifles and the 2 pistols. Where are those going?
I'm no good with rifles.
Me either.
Fuck them. Leave them.
I mean, I could take one for a rainy day, but I'm more of a up close sort of person, not a far away, but I don't really want to be up close at the same time. So I'll take one.
Oh, she says, if you're looking for up close, the last locker has a beat stick. It's gas powered.
Gonna go look in the last locker.
I step out of Vess's way.
It appears to be a halberd. Like it's about like a 6-foot pole that has a pair of like
It's an Arse
2
Ripper
gallon
5000.
Yeah, like 2-gallon gas cans on either side of it, and then above that, like a chainsaw, like they use for like pruning trees, like a chainsaw blade, but
Yes,
set up like
I found
a
your
regular
weapon.
pole arm.
I'm about it.
All right, and you can treat that as a enhancement 2, tier 2 melee weapon. However, it is 2-handed, and it also has the reach tag and the melee tag. And what's the other one I'm looking for? The other tag it has. Is it messy? I think it's messy.
Probably. You said a tier 2 enhancement?
It's enhancement 2 and it's tier 2. So that means that it will operate against, it'll overcome a scale of up to 2 on the opponent's armor.
Okay. She holds out her knife. That anyone want to use this while I have this monster?
I'll take my jagged knife back.
Oh yeah, it definitely has messy. Doesn't do damage cleanly, instead shattering bones, leaving ragged wounds or blowing apart cover. Leaves a distinctive trail of gore in its wake.
I've already started. It's perfect.
So I think we're ready to do some yard work. Gonna clear some brush and trim some hedges, and looks great. Yeah.
Well, we got to clear the front yard so we have someplace to put the rocking chair.
My bones are aching. And he's like, it pains him to like even try to say that.
All right. You
Silly Amelia, you don't have any bones.
No bones, just mushrooms.
anything else before you head in?
I'm just actually going to grab a second bolt pistol and make
Okay.
sure I have munition.
Beautiful.
I'm going to take one of the hunting rifles. I don't know how to use it well, but it's good to have a ranged weapon just in case.
All right. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're all loading up as much ammo as you can reasonably carry. All right. You head in. As you step into the first hallways, you again can see that this place still has some sort of power that is running these fluorescent lights overhead. The interior halls are like reek of chemicals, like cleaning supplies of some sort. And in fact, you notice this odd juxtaposition of extremely clean walls throughout these initial hallways and ceilings, whereas the floor is almost like a small river of gore runs down the middle of the hallway. Splattered and splashed from side to side from the marks of like fingers and feet as people are resisting being dragged down this hall. You go down probably about 100 feet. There are some rooms on either side of this initial hallway, but they all appear to be boarded up, heavily sealed. Nothing's going to come through there, at least not rapidly. But when you get to that first intersection.
Is there anything cool in any of the boarded up rooms that we can see?
Not that you can see. They're completely like blocked off effectively. There's not like a window to look through. If you want to stop and tear down one of the boards, you're welcome to do so.
I'm just going to pause long enough to see whether or not the muck mire bits and pieces that are all over the floor are in any way, shape, or form have like that half circle in front of the doors, like at some point they had been open or closed.
Oh, right. No, you don't see any evidence that they've been displaced.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
What is the lighting in here like? Is it like brightly lit like a hospital, or is it?
Yeah, it's like hospital lighting in this hallway, at least.
I'm going to try and take off at least one of the boards to see if I can peek.
Okay. Are you using any particular tool, or are you just trying to rip it down with raw strength?
I mean, we don't got a lot of things. I will use my shiv to loosen up one of the nails.
I say you got a flamethrower. Go ahead and go ahead and give me. I would say probably athletics. Right? Is that the word I'm looking for? Athletics.
Yep.
And then whichever attribute you think would be the most appropriate.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Not intellect, might.
Okay, that's fair. All right, you pull and pop and prod and poke, and you don't quite get it off. It also becomes very clear to you that this is not a quiet process. Would you like to try to continue? And you've got it away from it, but not quite to the point where you can see in. You can get your hand in. You can try to pull on it, but now you're going to have a complication of one. If you fail to resolve it, you're going to hurt yourself on this wood.
Lep actually reminded me that Jones start with a crowbar.
Right on.
So I will use my crowbar instead.
Excellent. That will give you a enhancement of 2, but you are still going to have a complication of 1 because of the sloppy job you've done pulling it up with your shiv so far.
You're sloppy.
Linux,
Yeah.
crowbar.
Okay.
You've got a crowbar on your back.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got so excited about doing stuff that I
Nice. All right. Much better. So you pop the crowbar in and just rip your way through. It falls down, and you can see inside what appears to be maybe a dozen skeletal remains. And this looks old.
Yeah. pre-fall stuff.
Yeah, like somebody barricaded themselves in that room, and rather than try to rip it down, the raiders just boarded over the outside of the doors.
Linux.
This is very important.
I want a finger bone.
All right, fine. I'll get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But is there anything old world in there? Because that's her shtick. She brings back technology of the old world to her people.
Go ahead and give me just a, we'll say technology, and then based on whatever attribute you think you'd rely on for looking through kind of a crusty, aged, dusty window.
Okay, she is also a scavenger, which gives a +2 for looking for things.
All right, so that'll be enhancement. So if you get a material success, you'll get the +2 successes for it. Excellent. So it's a total of 4. So as you're looking through, you see one of them, one of the corpses seems to have a box in its hand, a very thin box that is probably about 6 or 7 inches long and about 4 inches wide, and seems to have some circles on the back of it and like a weird looks like an apple bitten out of it or something like that. You see that there's a couple of other, like a couple pieces of like jewelry that look to have some technological components, like around the wrists of a couple of the corpses.
Okay, I'm going to grab them all.
All right. You have popped the outside of layer of the door. So you still are going to need to work your way through this barricade.
Okay, I'm just going to squiggle through it.
All right. As you're sort of like pushing and popping the barricade, you have enough enhancement. You can get through it as a reasonable time. But this is not a quiet process. What are the rest of you doing while Linux is like excavating this former bolt hole?
Cheering me on. Yay! Linux.
Scanning, waiting for something to pop out of anywhere, giving not dirty looks, but like, come on already looks to Linux. Like, is this really necessary? Come on.
Fingy bone. I want to get a Hume fingy bone.
I won't make you make any checks to notice these things. Oh, did you have something, Emil?
No, I was just gonna say this really reminds me of the meme of the triangle, and it's we're going to McDonald's, and there's like, we've got food at home, and like, yay, McDonald's, and like only gets a black coffee.
I won't make you roll for this since you're watching and it's fairly perceptive. You hear a slight, like a distant dinging sound, like some sort of a bell or an alarm or something, but it rings once. And then you see a little indicator light above the last door in the hallway toward the T at the end of the hall. It's just like a square light above the door, light up red.
You guys,
Red's the bad color.
You're going the right way. The lights are going on.
Oh yeah, be right there. Almost got it, guys.
You start to hear shuffling of feet coming from down that hall. And
everyone in the hole. Everyone in the hole. Everyone in the hole.
you hear a voice come over a public address system that says, "Code blue in the south hallway. Code blue in the south hallway."
Who said that?
Guys, are we in the south hallway?
God, was that you?
Are you all trying to squeeze into the hidey hole at this point?
Did all
In the hole. In the hole. Okay.
did all of you just hear the graves speak to us?
Lep, get in the hole. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. Get in the hole.
Lewd. You first.
Fine. Get in the hole.
What's that, Beth?
can we all fit in this?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a like a family. What it looks like is a family waiting room that people were in when the apocalypse started.
That's perfect.
Cool.
Emil, go in.
Was that Amelia?
Emil
you roboted on me.
squinches in the hole.
Right.
Oh, I said Emil squinches into the hole.
Right. You all crawl in and there's room. I mean, it's a sizable enough room. There were probably, like I said, what was it, like 10, 12 corpses in there? A little hard to tell. Some of them have fallen apart.
I'm gonna find a board to like put over the hole.
Are you gonna wait till I get in or after?
After Lep gets in, of course. Of course.
All right.
I mean, both are valid answers.
You get in and you slam the door and start trying to hold like the first thing you pick up basically over the glass. The thing that you're holding up looks almost like a tower shield, but it's made out of very, very, very flimsy. It's the front of like an old vending machine, basically. And you're kind of holding this over. And you can see there's discarded, crushed up cans all over the floor, emptied food packages from ages ago. Looks like they ripped this vending machine open and
Infernal pastries.
dined on its yes, a lone Twinkie in a package.
We found the infernal pastry.
Lep, you have to be quiet.
Why? If they come through the hole, they have to come through one at a time, and then we have tactical advantage on them. We should probably check to see if there's other exits, but we could murder the shit out of anyone that comes through that pokey hole.
Oh, thingy bone.
Yay!
You break a finger bone off of one of the bodies. You are able to collect 3 Apple Watches, an iPhone, and a Google Pixel.
I immediately try to pick Vess's nose with the finger.
Fuck's sake.
While you're going about this business, you see a silhouette sort of step into, like you can see it through the vending machine door that you're holding up, step in front of the window. And you hear like a a yell that's almost words. And it sounds very like someone's giving a direction. Like, go fetch me a thing, kind of a yell. And the silhouette sort of dissipates as whoever it is that's standing in front of the door steps backward.
Before the person steps backward, I have a request of what I would like to do.
Sure.
Which is I would like to drop the thing because clearly they're going to try to break in, and then I'm going to take my shiv and shank them in the face as quickly as possible before stepping back.
Excellent. You drop it, and I'll let you go ahead and get that initial attack roll in. As soon as you drop it, you can see it's another one of the roughly same outfit as the nurses that you killed outside. But these scrubs that they're in are like a almost like a Christmas mint green beneath the blood and ichor that's all over them.
Got it. Okay. I hate mint. I'm gonna roll close combat and I guess dexterity in this case.
Sure. Beautiful. All right. Let's check their defense right quick.
Is that 10 roll again?
That's a 0, not a 10. It's 0
Okay.
successes.
Yeah.
It auto calcs.
Oh, okay.
And what's the enhancement on your shiv?
The enhancement on my shiv is that's a great question. Let me check. It's lethal, melee, and concealable.
I would assume if there's no enhancement listed,
I don't think there's an enhancement though.
A 0 or a 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's an enhancement on it.
Shiv is enhancement 1.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yep. All right, cool. 2/3 of a second while this lovely application behaves itself for me. Like it's really gonna. Honest, come on. I'm having a bad Adobe day. Go. All right. You lunge forward with the shiv, and they're able to sort of like move their head to the side, and you like just nick their cheek a little bit. It's basically a superficial wound you're able to deal to them. And they let out like something that sounds like a scream and of agony and a moan of ecstasy met in a dark alley. I
don't like that.
Step backward.
I don't like that at all.
It's just full Pavi Largo.
And
This is the content I'm here for. Let's do this.
And as they're stepping back, you see down both of their arms slide what looks like they're wearing like wrist braces, but as they lay their hands out, you see scalpel, syringe, like slide down and lock into place at the end of their fingers.
Travis,
Yes.
are we fighting Edward Scissorhands?
No, because they're not scissors so much as they're. I mean, the scalpels are
Scalpels,
short.
yeah.
And it's going to take its turn, and then we'll do initiative. How does that sound? The Dread Surgeon Candy Striper is going to try to stab you in the face with that little apparatus I just described.
Do we get any sort of cover bonus because they're stabbing in through a hidey hole?
If that was dropped and that shiv came out, you're no longer benefiting from the rest of you in the room are benefiting just fine from the cover. Fixer
not me. I'm right there.
From that cover.
I'm framed by the beautiful hidey hole window right now.
Yeah, so just let me drop some dice real quick. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Crap.
Do you have a defensive maneuver you would like to?
Do the defensive maneuver of get the fuck out of the way. That would be great.
What is your defense score?
I mean, it would be a 1 because I have soft. I don't have armor. Yeah.
All right. You can roll a resistance tribute, I should say.
Sure. I will roll stamina. I'm gonna roll stamina because I'm just gonna take it, I guess.
All right. Let's see what you get on that stamina roll.
Ooh,
3 successes, not bad. Not what you needed,
Nope.
which would have been 4. But so you get stuck in the face. Now you do manage to like turn your face enough that the scalpels both miss. So like one scalpel goes in front, the other scalpel goes behind, like the curvature of your cheek.
Okay.
However, you take both of those syringes right to the face. So
ow.
You suffer a fatigue condition.
Okay, got it.
Now we can go ahead and have some initiative rolls.
Cole's fixer backstop.
For the sake of brevity, I will just use Jester for the initiative. All right, so
So I didn't realize this last time, but I have an enhancement, an edge that does something for me on initiative. Hair trigger reflexes.
yes, that means that you get is it +1 enhancement to initiative roll?
I just had it up. Where did it go? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, 1 enhancement.
Excellent. So that would be considered 1 success higher. So yeah, you're going first anyway. You slice it. Do you want to just go off of the rolled, because effectively you wind up with your slots, but are we just going to run it off of the rolled initiative? Because effectively your group has the first focus, and then they have focus, and then everybody else has focus.
Okay.
I'm sorry, your group has the first 2 focuses. Right? Everybody did roll, correct? Okay.
Yep.
Rock and roll. All right. So Vess, what would you like to do?
Yes. What is the current situation on the outside of that door? I guess it's not a door right now, right? The boards.
Well, in your view, so this door would have come into the room, right? You broke down the stuff, busted in the door. So the door is like held back open as Fixer lunged forward. So you've basically got like Fixer's shoulder blades and in the back of her head, and she's like backed up. You can see the syringes. Like one is like in this fatty part of the cheek right here, and one is just under her bottom eyelid. And they're still in her face as your initiative comes up. So over her, you see the nurse reaching over, and in the background, you can see like some shadow movement, but you can't tell, like you can't see around the corner to see what it is without moving.
Okay, with my initiative, I'm going to take fix her by the shoulders and pull her back and go to remove these things from her face and be like, Emil, that shotgun might be useful in this.
All right. Go ahead and just give me a. This would probably be close combat unless you have another really like whiz bang skill idea. And then whatever attribute you feel would be best. Maybe a complication of 1 that if you fail to resolve, you're going to cause an injury to Fixer's eye as you twist that syringe out of the eye instead of pulling it out.
Cool. I'm going to say dexterity since it's a finesse attribute. So close combat plus dex.
All right, enough to buy off the complication. You sort of back then turn. Wonderful. That brings us to the next focus. So if Fixer, if you want to relent focus and let Emil take the focus with the shotgun, you're welcome to.
Yes.
Excellent.
The answer is yes. Yeah.
Emil takes a wide step, kind of both around and in front of the Vess Fixer union combo, and like doesn't really aim because he doesn't need to, thank goodness, and just kind of does a little prime and shoot. And I feel like that's a thing that I should roll.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, that would be a firearms. And then what attribute would you rely on for that?
There's not a lot of thought going on here, not a lot of planning. It seems like might is probably solid.
That's fair. That is
So
absolutely
I'm
fair.
Gonna just do a little boop. And a little, this is gonna be really underwhelming, y'all. We love 0 successes.
All right. Now, I would like to remind you, you do have a momentum pool, and you can spend momentum to reroll failed dice.
Last time I did that, it didn't go so well.
As you wish. Just putting that out there for the class to consider. So you like rack the shotgun, step in front, and fire. And this nurse, who you've seen them walking around like with their jerky movements and their apparent barely having any control over their limbs, she like does the splits like flat out onto the ground, pulls herself forward on her knuckles, and like slides up underneath you. That brings us to her action.
I'm just impressed.
This may not be Emil's kink, but it is my kink.
Mood.
I mean, that's fair enough. We've got 2 successes on their attack roll. Are you wearing any armor right now?
Bear with me a second. I'm double checking.
Sure.
He
You would have
is wearing soft armor.
Excellent. What's the soft armor rating?
3.
Okay. The good news is that that is unable to, that the scalpels are unable to pierce your armor. I would, however, still ask you to make a defensive roll. You can use whichever of your resistance attributes you feel is most applicable to the situation, because she might still hit you with the syringes on the other hand.
I'm gonna go for composure. That feels the most Amelie.
Yeah, just keeping your head together in the face of all of this kink. So that brings you to a defense rating of 2, which is precisely what you would need to avoid that terrible fate. So like the syringe basically like bends when it hits your crotch. So
Gross.
And that brings us a shift of focus back to the player characters. So now we'd shifted Emil up into Fixer slot. So Fixer, Linux, or Lep, who's going to go next?
Fixer, you want to take yours?
Do I still have things in my face?
No, that
Okay,
no,
that was
that's pulled you back
out.
and
Yeah,
away.
lovely. But I'm probably bleeding.
That's not too bad. You just have the two. It's like it's like you got a shot.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's okay.
Just two little sad streaks of blood going down your cheek.
Blood tears. Good job, me.
So edgy.
I was gonna say you are like prime Harry Potter fan fiction, sir. This is some My Immortal shit.
So edgy, much wow. Okay. I am going to pull out the hunting rifle, I believe, at this point, and pretend Fixer is going to grab it as if she has used a rifle every single day of her life. Those of here that use guns know that Fixer has really never held a gun ever. And she's going to try to fire it at the thing through the hole.
I subconsciously wince when you fire.
Even Emil winces and he's not even looking at you.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It'll be a close combat firearms and whatever attribute you feel is most fitting.
I'm gonna go with dexterity. That seems appropriate for firearm. God. Oh. Okay. Expected. Oh yay! One success.
Excellent. They currently do not have a defense rating. Effectively, they have a chance at getting one with a roll, but their core defense is 0. So let me just make a roll. They did get one success, however. You basically like tagged them in the shoulder, but it appears to be like a clean wound, went in right straight out. Doesn't look like it hit anything important.
I shot it. I mean, yeah, I shot it.
Doesn't seem to have slowed them down much, though. And then that will bring us to Linux, unless Lep wants to, unless you want to swap places with Lep.
Linux, you can go.
So one actually came into the room.
Yeah. So like after Fixer was pulled back in, this one like did the splits under an incoming shotgun round, like crawled forward on its knuckles and then swiped up at Emil.
Okay. Well, I got
as opposed to swiping up on Emil, which would have been a totally different scene.
I mean, Daddy. Fuck, Daddy.
Gross.
I didn't plan this episode to go this way.
I mean, Daddy. I mean, sorry. I mean, Pappy. I mean, sorry. I mean, Daddy. I mean, sorry. Fuck.
I'm gonna shoot it in the face.
Excellent.
Why does everything sound dirty now? Continue.
A lead facial. All right. There we go. All right, that's a solid hit though. That one actually lands. What's the enhancement on that weapon?
It's the bolt pistol.
Bolt pistol. Okay, cool.
So 1, I think it's.
Bolt
enhance 1
is enhancement 1. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Lethal.
You see like a hole open in the forehead and a spit of gore comes out of the back of the head. and she like looks over at you, and her left arm starts like jumping, but she's still like alive. And she like basically slides up from the splits into a standing position.
Gross.
Lep, what you got?
I'm going to take 2 steps to the left so that I have a line of sight through the open doorway.
Excellent.
And so that I'm also not standing in front of the people who are amateur hour with the guns.
Also a good plan. As soon as you step into that, you see 2 more of these nurses rounding the corner.
Okay.
They're pushing what looks like a crash cart. And you see the one that's like behind it is unscrewing the top on a giant tank that's in the crash cart.
Guys, are you okay with me using a momentum? Cool. I'm going to spend for a scatter shot, and the aesthetic of it is I'm literally pulling out both guns and just going Reaper, bang, 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 bang. So I fan the hammer, the weapon, blinding speed. Characters using complex action to attack multiple foes at once gains +1 enhancement for each other additional target she is attacking beyond the first.
Nice.
So my targets are in order. 1 in the room, the tank that's on the cart, and then the 2 pushing it.
Okay. Excellent. So you'll make 1 roll. It'll be firearms plus attribute, and you're going to be looking at a +3 enhancement.
Okay. And then I'm going to be using dexterity, firearms, and this is my chosen weapon, pistol.
Okay. So that gives you also a +1 enhancement.
Yep.
Beautiful. So +4 is your total enhancement.
With 9 dice, I get
You
one
hit the
success.
initiative button, not the.
I have initiative over the 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Firearms. Nope. And then dexterity.
There
4
we go.
successes.
That's a total of 8. How would you like to split those?
First one goes into the back of the head of the one that's in the room.
All right. She drops.
So I have 3 more successes.
No, you have 7 more successes.
So I'm going to put
6 more successes. I'm sorry.
6. So I'm going to put 2 rounds into the tank and 2 rounds into each of them.
Okay. Excellent.
So it'll be bang, 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 bang.
All right.
Bang.
So you basically hit the one that's in the room, like right in the juncture of where that small exit wound in the back of her skull hit, which just opens the back of her skull up. And the force of that spins her around, emptying the contents of her skull directly onto Emil's shoes. As you turn around.
As I continue to fire, this is the look on my face.
As you turn and like both eyes, you can't see their eyes because they're all covered in rags and whatnot, but you get like where both eyes should be on the 2 that are running up, and then you put 2 into the tank, and as that first one hits and you hear that huge hiss, you just think, I shouldn't do this, as you pull the trigger on the second one.
Oh no, that thought doesn't go through my brain.
The rest of us may have thought that. Lep does not.
Excellent. I just need to look up something about explosives real quick.
It was at this moment that Lep realized when you step in front of the doorway, that puts you directly in front of the blast radius. He considered that he might have made a mistake.
I'm so proud of him. That's
I said might.
progress.
Progress.
Accepting the possibility is the first step or something. I don't know.
I don't have a problem. I have solutions.
Okay.
Oh no, Lep is having a massive flashback. For those of you watching at home, I actually got around to turning in my backstory.
It involved both explosives and raiders.
Hey, this feels familiar.
The next daddy that comes out of my mouth will be so much sadder in tone.
All right. Just a half a second while I continue to deal with Adobe being so kind to me today. Thanks, Adobe. Okay. So a couple things that I'm going to need you all to do. I'm going to need you all to, do any of you still have like, Linux, you haven't actually taken an action yet, correct? So you can
You
go
shot
full.
through my hole.
You.
She made the hole in the front. I shot through the hole in the back.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So then everyone is. I'm doing my best here, and you're not helping.
So am I, Travis. So am I.
Sorry, I can't help having this beautifully expressive face.
It is rather wonderful. So you can each roll just a resilience attribute as this thing explodes. Those of you who are inside the room, like fully in the room and not in the direct line of fire, so everyone that's not LEP, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, will have 2 enhancement on this roll, as there are like walls to protect you and whatnot.
Does this count as a source of indirect damage?
It does.
Neat. So I have 3 dots in Hardy.
Beautiful. So that acts as an enhancement to that roll.
3 enhancements.
Yep. So that would make your total on that. Or did you not roll yet?
I haven't rolled yet, no.
Okay. Yeah. So as long as you get a material success, then the 3 will apply. Excellent. So Vess, you're fine. Linux, you suffer a bruised condition, or well, any one injury condition you may choose. And you also attain the on fire condition. Lep.
Yeah.
So the way explosives work is their scale reduces by distance.
Mhm.
Since you were in the direct line of fire, you enjoy the least benefit of that scale reduction.
So at one point I had a Cavalier vest and skin and muscle and bone.
Do you have a hard armor rating?
No, I have soft armor.
Okay.
3
so
levels of it.
All right. So you will.
Armor 2. Does that count for anything?
Soft armor only increases the difficulty of the inflict injury stunt, which this is not. So you will suffer 2 levels of 2 injury conditions, as well as the on fire condition.
Got it.
All right. Emil, you got a success, right? So you're able to basically like hit the deck. Like the concussive force of the blast kind of helps you hit the deck, but you get some superficial bruising, but nothing major. And fortunately, it knocked you down low enough that you were not in the actual spray of flame. So you do not have the on fire condition. Fixer, as you were sort of being set down by Vess, Vess A is kind of like a body shield for you at this point. But also you kind of just are able to like slide in your chair and like look up as you see like a gout of flame bounce off the wall and then dissipate.
Everything's fine. This was a great decision.
And then you look over and see that your companion who is wearing a flamethrower is on fire.
Are we still in initiative rounds? And who's initiative? If so,
it would be yours, Vess. What would you like to do?
We have two friends on fire.
yeah, no, I'm gonna rip that freaking flamethrower off of her back as quickly.
All the guests.
No, save the Apple Watches.
Is he going to ignore Linux's plea to save the technology and rip off and just get, slide it away? Not like throw it violently, but slide it away out of the fire and then try and put Linux out.
What would you like to use to try to pull this thing off?
Might.
Okay. And I would say that's probably close combat, but I do need to check something because there's a tag that this flamethrower may have that would just be really funny if it does.
Oh.
Just checking. Do we have a?
It's
all right,
lethal,
cool. Yep.
firearm, loud, and unconcealable.
I was just looking to see if it had the warn tag, because you can't take away something that has the warn tag. All right, go ahead and give me that roll.
Gorgeous. So close combat and might.
Yeah, that's fine. This thing's got a stupid safety latch on it.
A single success.
Hey, that's better than nothing. So you reach up, grab both shoulder straps, and like drop it off of Linux's back. It hits the ground and makes like a tink tink noise, and it starts hissing. That brings us to Fixer. What would you like to do?
Emil's just singing Amazing Grace under his breath. He doesn't really know why or what that song means, but he's just singing it.
Okay. The fire explosive thing is hissing now, and I have two friends on fire and many Apple Watches. Okay.
I'm gonna see what time it is. Fuck. Hey Siri, how do I put out a flamethrower?
I don't know. I'm going to deal with. It's
Thanks,
possible
Siri.
that I could.
Apparently, there are 3 results. There's one on installing flamethrowers, how to make a legal homemade flamethrower, and how flamethrowers work. Thanks, Siri.
I'm going to take one look at the flamethrower, which is hissing, and quickly come to the conclusion that it's very possible that I could fuck up trying to disarm that thing or dealing with that shit over there. So I am instead going to focus on putting out my friends who are on fire and look around for any sort of heavy fabric around to throw over them to try to smother them. Not like actual smother them.
Right, smother the flame.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you actually, you grab a blanket that's over one of the corpses. And I would assume based on proximity, you're probably going to target Linux. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Also, Linux is closest to the flamethrower, which is hissing. So more fire bad. So I'm going to target Linux with that.
You whip this blanket up and put it over Linux and put Linux out. Emil, I need you to make a roll. You may choose whichever one of your resilience tributes you prefer as something small and in like 7 or 8 chunks flies out of that blanket toward you.
Sorry.
Emil is just our gore magnet at this point.
I'm gonna roll stamina because it feels like the thing most related to getting out of the way very quickly and resourcefully.
That's fair.
That is a whole 1 success.
That is enough. You like step aside as you realize that this blanket was being used by like one of the survivors and was probably like over their shoulders. And when Fixer pulled it, like the upper torso of that skeleton came with it.
Oops.
But Linux is out. So that brings us to Lep. What would you like to do?
In this order, whimper, cry, roll on the ground to put myself out.
Very good. I will allow it. That will be your turn, but it will be successful. Emil, do you have any action?
Is Minty Nurse deceased?
Oh yeah, they're all dead as shit. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Emil is going to quietly, seethingly, slowly approach the corpse of our dearly departed Minty Nurse and just wipe the toes of his boots on its scrubs. And he is going to just sort of toe its noggin a little bit grumpily, and you can tell he really wants to have a tantrum, but like, dad's staying composed, y'all. Gotta set a good example for these ragamuffins. He just goes at its head and turns around and looks at Linux and says, "Do you have everything you need?"
Linux, what would you like to do? You hear the hissing. Like that's the first thing that clicks when you
take a strip of the duct tape that was given to me and smack it on the tank and I'm going to roll a repair to see if I can patch job the tank and make it still usable.
Go for it.
So I am going to use cunning because I'm very clever.
Excellent.
Technology. And half rounded down of my science.
Okay.
Because I'm a tech whiz.
Beautiful. So I have a couple of pieces of good news for you and one piece of not the best news you've heard all day. So you wrap it up and you realize that what had happened was a piece of shrapnel from the tank out there had popped the tank on the flamethrower. Because the fluid inside the flamethrower is pressurized, that was basically a mist that was spraying out of it. So the good news is it's still usable and you still have most of the fuel that was in it. The bad news is you are wearing a not insignificant portion of that fuel still. And though you have been patted out and are not on fire, you are highly flammable.
I strap it back on my back. Yeah, I'm set. Look, guys, we found our first booty. Let's continue.
I'm gonna go check on Lep and see how Lep is doing in the hallway.
I am still laying on the ground.
I will go to Lep and see if I can't sit him up.
Skin like 3rd-degree leathery burns creaking and cracking as I am maimed.
Fixer?
Yeah?
Need you out here.
Okay.
When you get out there, Lep looks like a sausage that was left on the campfire a little too long. Like there's cracked, broken pieces of skin everywhere. His fingertips, strangely enough, appear to have elongated a little bit, as if perhaps the flesh of his hands is starting to deglove a little from the burns.
Single blood tier.
No, double.
Double blood tier. Oh, it's not that bad.
I can hear the grave.
No. Okay, let's see what I can do. God, what do I have? I got healing herbs and bandages.
All right. You want to try some first aid? You could also look around. I mean, you see as you're out there. I mean, you're right by that sort of T that leads to the hallway.
Okay.
So you can look around and try to see if there's anything there that might help you as well.
Yeah, I'm good. We're in a place with apparently a bunch of medical supplies, so I'm gonna look at left. Stay right there. Don't move. I don't want your flesh falling off. And then I'm gonna go take a peek and see if there's anything I can use to make it slightly better, like burn green.
Emil will also grumpily stomp to left side and kneel next to them while Fixer is doing that.
All right. How wide of a radius are you going to search, Fixer?
20, 30 feet away. Like I'll look in like side rooms and that sort of thing. But I'm not going to go too terribly far because I don't really want to run into a minty ninja.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Give me a medicine check.
Look.
Oh, you're going to help?
Yeah, I'll help look.
Excellent. You can rely on science if you prefer, or medicine. Either one's fine. And then just whatever you would rely on for sort of quick perception. That might be cunning. That might be, intelligence if you're just trying to take your time and process as fast as you can. Whichever.
Roll a medicine and an intellect.
Travis, we had a quick rules clarification in the chat.
Yes.
If you want to take a peek at it.
Yeah, if it directly does not, if a rule like says that you heal a target, for example, a single target, you are a target. It doesn't specifically note that you can't target yourself with it. And it doesn't, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you grab a single target that you can grab yourself.
I'm going to lay prone and continue to have my conversation with the Gravemind for a little bit.
Okay.
As I pray.
Excellent. Are you going to, in fact, activate that ability?
Yes.
Beautiful. So yeah, let's get that lore and stamina. Your difficulty is 3, so that means you require 3 successes in order to successfully pull it off.
Permission to use a momentum, team?
Go for it.
Okay.
When he goes prone, Vess is going to be like, "What? Lep, stay with us, buddy."
I'm gonna use that momentum as requested.
Right, because that'll put you down 2 because you're 1 for activating it and then 1 for reroll. And you can spend up to half your failed dice on a reroll too. So if the team's cool with you spending like 2 or 3 momentum, you can spend 2 or 3 momentum on this roll.
You guys cool with me using 3 dice?
Go for it.
Because if I fail this, I'll also be facing a crisis of faith.
Oh no.
That would be
but also so appropriate.
2 times you've let me do this.
That's a 0. That's a no.
Excellent. You call on your divine belief, and it fails you.
Can you hear me? Why can't you hear me? Aren't I worthy? I gave up everything. And then I just stop.
While that's occurring, Linux, you run down one side of the hallway. Fixer, you run down the other.
I also get a +1 enhancement because of scavenger.
Excellent. You see at the end of the hall, it's very clear, like there's a restroom, which you sort of like kick the door open and you're like, okay, yeah, that's actually a restroom. And then you run down and at the end of the hall, you see like this octagonal desk that has like missing counter on the two sides of it. You kind of sort of leap over it and you see all sorts of fancy stuff back here. There's an actual crash cart with like an actual working defibrillator on it. There's a radio. There's like a couple of monitors and keyboards and boxy computer thingies and all sorts of just amazing tech back here. It's all in remarkably good condition. You also see there's like a refrigerated, like a half fridge with a glass front on it. It has all sorts of little medicine vials and stuff sitting in it. On the other side, as you're running through, pulling your search fixer, the first door you come up to actually does pop open, and you can see that it's just filled up with like gauze and cotton swabs and tongue depressors and basically your dry storage type of medical supplies. Anything that can be stored at room temperature. There's probably some anesthetic in there.
Cool. Let me grab anything and everything and shove it in all my pockets. My med bag, along with my healing herbs and my bandages, but especially the gauze. That seems good.
And you grab.
I
There's
pile
also
as much as I can on the crash cart and
Okay.
just start wheeling that down the hall.
excellent. And you grab some Silvadine cream too, because wouldn't be a fire party without some Silvadine cream.
Yes.
Maybe a Brillo pad.
Yep. Gonna
All right.
grab it. Yep.
You run up, and what scene do they return to as they come pushing two carts into the middle of this hallway?
I'm just laying silent and prone, completely unmoving, eyes completely glassed over.
Did Lep die?
No.
Lep.
Okay, Emil, you talk to Lep. I'm gonna get to work. It's worth noting I have 2 fatigued boxes at this point,
Excellent.
just to remind. And I'm gonna start using the supplies we gathered and start working on Lep as Emil and Vess and Linux talk to them.
All right.
Lep. Or Emil's gonna do like an exorcist and like ending of the exorcist, like Father Dyer, like leaning into Father Karras's dead body and like gently is just like, what do you hear?
Nothing anymore.
Sometimes silence is deafening, and other times it's simply the promise of something greater. Maybe now isn't time for you to go home. It's a harsh way of saying it, but it's the only way that the grave knows how.
Fixer, are you going to medicate Lep in any way, shape, or form before you start actually treating these wounds?
Yes. I'm going
You've got ample anesthetic. You've got ample.
Yeah, I'm
so-
absolutely going to be using anesthetic on this poor person right now, just to be as kind as possible.
As Emil offers you verbal comfort, Fixer, like, you sort of see Fixer, if you imagine almost like this blurry form comes up behind Emil, and then you rack focus to Fixer with just this giant ass Pulp Fiction needle in her hand. Thunk. You feel a very hard poke and a hot sensation rush into your bloodstream for just a moment. And then everything goes very comfortably numb. While you are numbed, you can feel like a tugging as your body is moving, but it makes you a little dizzy, but it's not terrifying or anything along those lines. All the rest of you, however, are watching as Fixer is taking like a wet sponge and literally washing the first layer of skin off of Lep. And there's like blood sort of just seeping up to the top every time. Yeah.
I'm actually going to take all the skin bits, and I assume that I can find like a bucket somewhere. I'm going to just be putting it all in the bucket,
while
which
hovering and not knowing what else to do.
I'm going to, in that case, Bess can hold the blood skin bucket, and Fixer will be putting Lep skin in the blood skin bucket.
Emil?
The good news is that you will recover one of your injured conditions.
Emil? Do you have faith?
Frankly, the fact that I'm still here tells me the same message you're receiving now.
I don't have faith. I'm supposed to be faith. But all my faiths keep trying to kill me.
There's a word for that. Harrowing.
Is that what was in that needle?
No, I have no idea what was in that needle, Lep. But
Only good things.
theoretically, only good things. And if your faith or your existence is never challenged, then you're not faith at all.
I think I would like some easy times at some point.
I think we can
I'm
make that
gonna nap
happen.
now.
Good plan.
Seems like a good
I'm
place
gonna-
to take our 5-minute biological and technological break. What do you think?
Wow. Oh, it's like
Okay,
the
bro.
last thing you want to hear a sensorite say. That's
Okay.
the worst. Worst
by,
best.
by the way, you do regain a point of momentum for that failed die roll. All right, we're going to go ahead and take 5. Those of you who are watching at home, just blink and you'll miss it. We'll be right back. The rest of us, if you got to run, get a drink, hit the bathroom, do what you got to do. We have returned, and all of us are in one piece except for Lep, who is in one piece, and then several smaller pieces that are all collected in a bucket.
I'm in a bucket.
So as the calm sort of sets in and the anesthetic is really starting to take Lep, and Lep is taking a little nap time, you all note that the inside of this facility has gone eerily quiet. The only thing you really can hear from where you're at right now is the humming of the fluorescent lights, a distant sort of buzz that Linux you assume is probably the generator, and a couple of like occasional beeps. They're very quiet in the distance.
Fixer, are you going to be able to get him mobile?
Define mobile. We
Being
could
able to move?
we could put him on the carts. Honestly, the anesthetic I pumped into him, I did not give an exact dosage. So, it might be only a little bit, and then it also might be a lot of time. So my recommendation would be to put him on a cart. And then Emil, don't give me that face. You know me. You should expect this from me.
Is there a gurney nearby?
In your immediate vicinity, all you got's the crash cart and the like supply cart. But if you like take a minute and look down the other hallways, you will see there are a couple of like actual rolling beds. Because the crash cart really just has like the equipment on it, doesn't have room to lay a person. But there are a couple of rolling beds out in the halls.
In all fairness, I could try something else on him to wake him up, but then I don't think he would be very happy.
He's already so sad.
Yeah. I was hoping he'd like sleep it off. I mean, I can try.
I don't think you can sleep off that kind of sad, Fixer.
Okay, like sometimes I have feelings too, and then
you had a feeling before.
I once had a very big feeling about that truck, and it was awesome. Yeah, I had a feeling.
Okay, as they argue, I'm gonna go get a bed.
All right. As you're walking down the hallway to see the bed, like you can see like the room that Fixer had gone in, and you see that it's still it's filled with supplies. There's got to be 500 UPP worth of medical equipment in this room.
Hey, y'all, you guys?
Would you say that this room almost seems like a cache?
It might.
I'm gonna grab that bed and come back over and be like, I think we can just grab the shit that is there.
Oh yeah, there was more stuff down my hallway too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, okay. So what we really want is a really big, if you want to wake Lip up, you got to get a really big needle. And there's this stuff called adrenaline. And that should wake him up real quick. It's probably not the best for him, but you know what? The infection works in mysterious ways. So that could help.
Why don't we just put him on the bed?
I mean, we could do that too. Yeah, we could just roll him. Wait for him to wake up.
I'm gonna bring the bed over and then, can someone help me, please? Carefully get him on the bed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. You 1, 2, 3.
Bonk.
Some more skin kind of flakes off when he hits the bed.
Okay, now let's go get those supplies and get the fuck out of here, please.
Mm-hmm.
It's very quiet right now. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, that's why I would like to hurry.
Maybe we got them all.
When you go to these rooms, you realize that there's probably 6 rooms that are equally well stocked. And there's also a refrigeration unit on this floor that's full of cold stock. You figure conservatively, with all of you working and you are really starting to have a hard time staying upright, Fixer. You would be able to get every last stitch of this stuff in about 4 hours.
It's a lot of stuff.
Oh. All right. I got these bungee cords. What if I take some of these?
Start with that sentence.
Why don't you just take some of these beds and like strap them all together like a big giant bed, and then we can like just pile everything on it in like probably half our time.
We're
Yeah,
just gonna put
let's do
long ways though, because I think these hallways aren't going to be wide enough to do it like long, like wide.
So we're
Long
making a bed snake.
Like a bed chute. We can make it so that it like
Bed shoot.
shoots down the hallway.
Okay.
I think it'll work.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll let you guys start on that, and I'm going to start grabbing stuff.
I'm gonna help with that.
I'm at a bed chute.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me a technology roll to build your bed chute?
Thank you.
And those of you who are grabbing stuff, are you using any sort of method of discernment, or are you just grabbing boxes and chucking stuff toward the beds?
Emil would not know how to differentiate between what is of value and what is not. He does have a lot of pockets in his coat, though, so he's just kind of shopping mall, or what was it? What was it? Grocery Store Dash. What was that TV show called? He's doing that, but with
Okay.
pockets.
So just filling up his pockets with any loose things are
Anything
lying
that'll
there,
fit.
and then boxing up, grabbing boxes and tossing the rest on there.
Mhm.
Beautiful. 4 successes. Yeah, you have this thing put together pretty well. Not only will it move, and you can sort of steer it from the back. You'll just be like a +1 complication to steer it because it is clumsy. But you can also basically run it down to the end of the hallway. So if they just pull the Mac up to the back, you can basically literally like roll stuff down without actually moving the beds. How long are you going to peruse this material? And Fixer, are you going to take some time to chill out, or are you going to get up and start moving around, grabbing boxes and whatnot?
So I'm going to take some time to chill out, just for a little bit. As much as I want to help.
You catch a breather. You can remove your fatigue.
I will ask Fixer, can you just come sit in here and like point at things and tell us what to grab?
I could.
While you're
Fixer's gonna slowly get to her feet, wander over to the room, pop down in the room in the corridor. And as Vess and Emil bring things to her, she's either going to say yes or no.
All right. I would like those of you who are doing the movement to give me an athletics stamina roll, or resolve if you prefer resolve to stamina. Okay. You're all good. You get about an hour into moving things. You've emptied 2 of the rooms. When the lights flicker for a moment. and you hear like a kind of hum kick on from deeper into the complex.
Was that a bad hum?
I'm not sure this place has any good hums.
Linux, was that a bad hum?
I don't know. Can I roll like a technology reception-y thing?
Yeah, you can roll technology. I'm going to give you a +2 complication because it's a distant noise that you're trying to figure out what it might have been.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure, given the dimming of the lights, followed by that hum, you think that something has been turned on, probably in like an operating theater type of room or somewhere else that would draw a lot of power. Something has been turned on that is pulling a whole bunch of power. It's taxing the generator, and it's that sound is it activating whatever it is.
Something's pulling a whole lot more power than the lights are. So
Huh.
maybe the operating room?
Didn't that guy mention a thing made out of parts that was like, what was it called? The juggle doodle man?
Juggernaut?
Yes. That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's a vehicle? Be a cool name for a car.
It's something we probably don't want.
Yeah, I don't really want to meet the jugger.
Frankly, we're not in a condition to meet the juggernaut. We need to
Okay,
move.
yes.
I am resisting the urge to say the word bitch after every time all of you say the word.
Is there any way we can get Lep awake?
Yeah. Find me it's like this big syringe. Should be adrenaline that'll wake him up.
Cool.
Shove it through his heart. It'll be fine.
You say so. We'll go look for this thing.
All right, give me a medicine, and then I guess cunning or whatever attribute you feel is best as you're sort of rifling through the supplies.
Nada.
No medicine?
I have no medicine, no, and I have a dot in cunning.
All right, so you're looking around and you cannot find you grab the syringe because that was like described to you, but you're like you have no idea where adrenaline is. There's a lot of stuff in bottles, and the writing on these bottles is like microscopic. Like how do you even
science cunning it?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, my computer's super slow today.
No, you're fine. We're all having a bad appliance day. All right, yeah. In some digging around, you go into the refrigerated area and you're like, oh, this must be where it's kept. And you start digging, opening boxes, you grab some stuff. And while you're like leaving the refrigeration unit, the lights like kick out and emergency lights come up.
Uh-oh.
And then you hear what sounds for all the world like lightning hitting something inside the building.
Uh-oh.
And then some distant cheering.
definitely time to go.
Yep, we gotta go. It's the Juggle Man.
Got your cold adrenaline.
Okay. If you don't mind, just put it in the syringe. Just stab him through the heart with it. That should wake him up. You got it. Are you trying? You don't wanna?
You're the fixer. You do it.
I'm taking a breather. I'm tight. Oh, fine. I guess you could take it.
Right as you stab him with the adrenaline, which immediately wakes you up.
I told you it work.
Why?
You start to hear more screaming in the distance.
That's why.
There's a needle.
As soon as you pull the needle out, it's accompanied by a distant banging sound.
We have to deal with the Juggle Man, Lep.
My skin's all crispy. Why do I have to face a Jugger Man?
You hear thumping.
You guys get to the car. Vess will take care of this.
Right now.
I will.
And I shoot the missiles.
Bodily grabs Fixer and Lep by the collars and is like, let's go.
All right.
Ow, skin off.
The three of you are making your
back.
You're making your way out. Yeah, part of your back sloughs off as you're like being pulled. You get out to the front. Are Vess and Linux staying inside, or are you taking off with them?
Get the stuff. Get the stuff.
Yeah, we're taking the stuff.
Taking the stuff and we're going.
All right, you come running out. You run out basically in two lines on either side of the bed cart that you've made. You figure you've attained probably, if you had to like ballpark it, probably about 1,500 UPP worth of medical supplies at this point, which is a not bad haul, all things considered. You get into the Mac and Clutch like unlocks the door as you're running up, and says, all right, everything's good to go. We're all loaded up. That one gun is still down, but all things considered, we're not in too bad a shape. You look panicked. Something wrong?
Yeah, can you arm the missile launcher, please?
Trigger Man's coming.
As soon as you say, can you arm the missile launcher, please? You hear a wet splat as one of what appears to be the upper half of a dread surgeon lands in front of the Mac.
Go, 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 go.
Says, you drive, I'll arm, and runs over and hits you turn on the Mac. You look in the rearview mirror. You see what appears to be 6 people that have been sewn together in a human centipede-esque chain and then sewn to another set of 6 people on their back in a human centipede-esque chain, and then sewn to 2 more sets of people on the sides. So it's just this tube of limbs running at you.
Chris is so excited.
Screaming in horror. And you can see that like some of the arms are like dangling pieces of dread surgeon from them. Like it woke up on the table and was like, and just ripped everybody apart. What would you like to do?
Strive.
Date it. I want to date it.
Yeah, can we take one home?
You hit the gas.
There are two types of people in this world.
This is my partner, the omnidirectional human tube.
Omni for short. I guess that would make you
I
omnisexual.
was going to say that wasn't what I thought you meant when you said omnisexual.
Monster lover.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead and give me a driving roll if you don't mind, please.
Gosh, okay. I am also. Do you guys mind if I spend a momentum just in case?
Yes, please do. You can use the one from
In-
my fried skin episode.
In case I, excuse my language, F this up.
We're talking about fucking Omni
There's the-
people, and you're like, F this up?
I mean, what would I do with this? I have pilot.
That's
and
what I was thinking.
Yeah, pilot would be the role that you would make. Yes.
And dexterity, stamina.
Dexterity's fine, yeah.
Okay.
And then you do have you are trained to run it, so the specialized complication doesn't apply, and it's in well-loved conditions, so you actually get a +1 enhancement.
Awesome. So I got 1 success.
All right, so that comes to 2 with the enhancement. And you hit the gas and gun it. The Juggernaut leaps at the back of the vehicle.
Oh no.
Can I missile it?
We'll see. Just a second.
be moving Lep over towards the missile launcher as well because I made a promise.
It leaps up and like the front like foursome get their hands on the back of the Mac. And you see it start like curling upward as it bends up, and its legs and the arms on the other side grab onto the roof, putting it basically squarely in front of the missile launcher. I would just like to let you know before you make whatever decision you're about to make that it is right next to the missile launcher. What would you like to do?
Do you want, you mentioned moving Lep to the missile launcher. Do you want to do that, or do you want me to shoot a missile at it?
I mean, I believe Lep was being moved over to the missile launcher.
Okay.
That's probably in a condition where like you could take Lep's hand and hold it over the control.
Oh, I'm hop full of adrenaline right now.
Well,
I could wrestle God.
That's true.
All of them at once. King's Court, fuck this. I'm taking out all your ancestors. Let's do this.
You gonna fire?
No. I look like I really, really, really want to, but it's right on top of us. And it looks like I may have learned a life lesson.
And his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Sheds a tear. I'm so proud.
Excellent. Lennox, do you want to shoot since Lep doesn't seem to want to?
No. Stupid heart growing. Fine. I'm going to wait.
Beautiful. I have an answer. What's up?
A question. So this thing it's curled over the back, right?
So what it seems to the way this seems to function, as it's moved, it's become clearer to you that it's not just like a one directional sort of centipede sewing so much as it's joined in the middle. It's basically, imagine like a chaos symbol of torsos. So they're all joined around a center mass. And so as it like bent itself up backwards, it grabbed with the limbs that were facing the other direction and pulled itself up onto the roof.
So it's entirely on the roof right now?
Yeah, like a little bit of it's dangling off the back. Like the torsos that initially caught the car are now dangling off the back loosely.
Okay.
Like you could theoretically like open the back cargo hatch and like, you know, speed bag one of them or something like that. You know?
Most damage to the thing. Is there access to the top of the truck?
Yeah. Yeah, you can go up in one of the gun turrets.
Oh no, it's gonna grasp at you by its toenails or something.
Oh, that's the gross part.
Yeah. Once you get feet involved in my like rock me mama like a wagon wheel situation, I'm out.
Aim.
Well, while you're thinking on that, it's going to grab like both sides of the roof and try to roll the Mac.
Well, definitely going up there now. Doesn't seem to be any other option.
Okay.
I would actually like to take another action before you go up on the roof.
Go for it.
I just need a piloting roll at a +1 complication from Fixer, please. As it doesn't, they don't get enough effort to like actually flip it, but you feel like the passenger side wheels come off the ground for a minute. All right,
Three successes.
That's enough to buy off the complication. You are able to recorrect and bring the weight back down and don't even lose a beat. So you're now pulling into the area where you saw you were being observed before. What would you like your action to be, Let?
I'm going to reach out with a burnt ass hand to touch Vess and say, I understand. I wasn't here to be the hero. I was here to show you the way, and I'm going to be using Fervor.
Okay. And please, for the class at home, what does Fervor do?
With enough devotion, a true follower of faith can help protect their allies against the terrors of the waste. Spend a momentum and roll lore plus composure against a difficulty of 2 to reach out and touch someone, infusing them with the comforts of the divine. In this instance, it would be the Mortis Amaranthine. Upon success, they gain the +1 enhancement Undaunted, which they may use against all attempts to intimidate, scare, or terrorize them. This lasts for 1 full hour.
Nice. All right, drop them dice. Ah, no.
You guys good with me using a momentum to re-roll? Thank you.
You can spend up to 3 of them if you want to.
I will go with 3 because I just need to get a 2 success.
Hmm.
Two successes.
Beautiful. You reach up and you feel your faith waver for a moment, and you close your eyes and you think back and you have a moment, a memory, a childhood flash comes through your mind, reaffirming, reconnecting you with that feeling of unquestioning belief that you knew before the world started to grind you down. And you channel that through your touch, filling Vess with vigor and
Yes.
holiness.
Violence.
You got it. Guess I'm going to the roof.
All right, you gonna take the gun turret up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You hop in and clutch hits the gun turret. Gun turret starts to go up. It seems to be moving a little slower this time. And it becomes apparent to you why as you spin into place and you see that this thing is like spread out, like it's trying to hold the gun turret down.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a nice, good, clear shot at its chest, several of its chests at point blank range. However, you're going to have a complication of 2 at this shot. Only 1 at this shot because you have the blessing, actually. Because you're distracted by the swarm of gunfire that is being rained down upon the Mac from both sides of the road that you're on from above, where the citizens of Pittsburgh are just like shooting everything they have at this thing. Just
A reasonable response.
bring out the sink. You see like a kitchen sink flies past your head.
Can Emil step in quickly to shove the shotgun into Vess's hands?
Well, yes, absolutely. Before Vess goes up in the thing, you mean? Yeah, absolutely. So you'll have the shotgun there, but it's also like you've got the vehicular machine gun turret too. But yes, you do have the shotgun. Absolutely, I will absolutely allow that.
Great.
Might come in handy because
I like having more armaments than less.
that vehicular gun might be the first thing to go once you pull this off.
What do I need to roll to unload as many bullets into this thing as possible?
That would be firearms.
Neat.
It would be the attribute of your choosing. You have a complication of 1 due to the distraction of the incoming fire or gunfire. And you can see, like, you can literally see like sparks where some of these bullets and bolts that are being flung at this thing are bouncing off.
Boop.
No firearms?
No firearms.
There's 2 momentum left in the pool.
Group thoughts?
Oh, fuck yeah, do it.
Yeah.
So how do I just roll an attribute that comes to 2?
So if you click on you can either do an attribute that comes to a 2, or if you click on the little dice down by the chat and hit the 10 twice, it'll give you 2 10s. It won't auto re-roll, so you'll have to check and see if you need to re-roll, but that's
I'm
a
just gonna
fact.
roll an attribute, but
Yeah, that's fine.
hooray, 1 success.
All right. So you're unable to buy off the complication with 1 success, but you are able to shoot it. So what that's going to mean is that as you're shooting it, you're going to basically like spin the gun and fire, and then like drop down defensively, reflexively, drop prone, so that you don't get your ass blown off. Let me check the actual damage this gun does, though. My guess would be a lot off the top of my head. You also, by the way, now hear bullets rattling off the outside. So you're going to have a +1 complication any piloting rolls I ask you to make, Fixer. Oh, yeah, it's force scale 3. And that was a 50 cal. Yeah, so you saw like a quarter of this thing off. As it takes 6 health. Gotta check its scale real quick. Forgive me while I dive through this slow PDF.
I still really want to hit the missile button.
Yeah, it's scale 3, so you deal it 4 health, which is exactly what you need to drop it. So you spin around, and like as you're hitting it, the barrels like stop for a second, and then turn what's touching them into mush, and you turn and like sort of as you're falling prone, bring the gun up, and you see that there's kind of that meaty bulb where all the torsos meet, and you just rip that to shreds as pieces of the juggernaut all fall off, just rolling off the side of the Mac as you're driving through.
Are we going to act like you just didn't say the words meaty bulb?
Bulb.
I mean, it's a bulb, and you know, it's a bulbous mass of gut.
Meat.
And then I'm going to need you to go ahead and give me a defensive roll of some sort, Vess, as it's going to take a second for everyone that's shooting in your general direction to recognize that they don't need to anymore.
The ball.
Oh, beautiful. So you like roll over as like bullets are like sparking around you, and like hit the retract button and just lay flat. Comes down. So you all see Vess just like drop down back into the vehicle, just covered in blood and guts.
You looked like I did.
My mouth. Oh, God.
Is that meaty bulb all over you?
Meaty something. Oh, God.
Hey, what's that smell back there?
Meaty
Fuck
bulb.
you.
That's best. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Vass, you should take a bath.
Thanks.
Up ahead, Fixer, you see the guard gate to get across the bridge.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Linux.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm coming.
You stop.
Heads up front.
All right. You stop at the guard gate.
Yep.
Guards walk up, look up at like the top of the vehicle, look back down the road.
Hello,
Okay.
guard friends. How are you today?
10 UPP, please.
I am doing
I
very fine.
slowly-
Thank you.
I slowly start turning the targeting of the missile launcher. I have hit my shit level.
Have you talked to Linux?
Hi. Do you remember us? We were
I do.
here like 4 hours ago.
I do. Yeah, you got that tax for the bridge.
We remember we don't need to because we were sent here and now we're finished with our thing. So head back and
Are we good to let them get? Yeah, didn't you see we got raider problems? And oh yeah, fine. You got any raiders on that rig?
nope, not a one.
All right.
Bye.
I hit the button and the bridge goes down. The arm comes up. Thank you for visiting Pittsburgh. Do come again.
Fuck no.
Emil literally throws Jester's caved in head out the window at these motherfuckers as they drive by. Like, just the sheer audacity of these tiny piss babies. It's just done.
Beautiful. Your drive back to Morganstown is relatively uneventful, all things considered.
Good. Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to try to accomplish on the ride back?
I'd like to hand Beth a tissue.
Yeah. I think we'd all like to hand Vess a tissue.
Really?
Incredible. Also gonna meditate.
Meditating is probably not a bad idea. When you arrive back, or are you you are in fact going back to Morganstown? But you're not gonna try to like just take off with the loot.
That seems like a team conversation.
That does seem like a team conversation. I'm also afraid Fixer is afraid of Electra, and so we'll drive back there because she is afraid.
Use a goddamn sigh on her fucking missile launcher?
Yeah.
Put on some ultra tight outfit and do a ninja split when we load up and unload again.
She's got a grappling hook, okay?
I have a grappling hook.
The rainy day grappling hook. It's the most grappling of all of the hooks.
It's scary.
She's wearing red.
And black.
She's played by Jennifer Garner.
She's terrifying.
Oh, it hurts right here when I smile. So I take it then that means that due to your immense fear of Jennifer Garner, you're going to make your way back to it.
We could probably use these medical supplies back at home, though, or sell it for an actual profit as opposed to what they were trying to give us.
We're not the only people in the truck, guys.
Oh, hey, Clutch, how's it going?
Fine, aside from all this damage.
Remind me what the deal was that we struck.
I get a
It
truck.
feels like 8 years ago that
I
happened.
get a truck.
We got stupid amounts of currency in exchange for the resources. Like dumb levels to the point where we assumed we just weren't going to get paid.
I mean, that deal still sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, but we also got double crossed by a creeper that tried to bring us into a nest of raiders, and now it sounds like Clutch is trying to scoop us up for the damage that was done to her truck from those raiders. I don't know.
In all fairness,
To be fair,
Electra and her mom was paid for this expedition. So in theory, they are responsible for any damages that may or may not occur during that expedition, as this was a joint venture and we were technically not the head of the expedition, but it was more of a joint affair. We would not be responsible for any damages, but because they hired us jointly, they would be responsible for damages and not us. But yes.
the head of the expedition got thrown out the window a while back by Emil.
Oh, I mean, that was just a very terrible loss. And we're all very sad and devastated by that loss. I mean, you got burned
Beth
very
did
badly.
not look bad when she was bashing him in the head.
We were all I'm crying tears of blood. I'm very sad.
You do still have like 2 little poke holes right here.
We should probably get our story straight.
Well, Emil, what should we do
Clutch, do you value your life?
Quite a bit.
Do you vaguely threatened by a group of ne'er-do-wells, but only vaguely, and maybe betray your employer, value your life?
She says, here's the thing. There's exactly one thing on this rock I care about more than my life. We're sitting in it.
Emil kind of like looks at Vest, looks at
So
Lex, looks at Fixer, looks at Lap, looks at Clutch.
we have two options, the way I see it.
The road, part of the crew, part of the road, part of the crew, part of the row, part of
Start
the crew,
of
part of the road, part of the crew,
the.
part of the road, part of the crew, part of the road.
She reaches over and puts her hand on Lep's mouth. Option one, we go back to Morganstown. The boss lady fixes up my car. You pay the supplies. She pays you the money. I continue working for someone I can tolerate in order to have access to a garage. Option two, we go wherever the hell you want. We do whatever the hell you want with the supplies. You pay to fix the car. I do the work to fix the car. And the fixer gets to drive the car.
Well, family.
There's a third
Option two.
option, but you don't want to use it.
What's the third one?
But I want to know what it is.
I like options.
Says you toss me out the car or shoot me in the back of the head or whatever.
No, that's not an option at this point. We've seen some shit. I mean, you had a needle in your eye. Like, yeah, not an option.
Okay. Then you got those two. Personally, I don't care which one we do.
Aw, Clutch likes us.
I'm so sorry.
She like wipes her hand on Lep's forehead. Not
A good chunk of my skin comes off.
Mainly because it's where there's the least amount of like burn at the moment. Oh, sorry. Here, this should help. Just pour some water on you. Oh shit, sorry. No, I guess that didn't help. Where's that adrenaline?
My hand's still over the missile button. My hand's still over the missile button. And I ain't aimed it for shit.
Don't waste any missiles. We don't have the Morgans to pull money from.
Okay, Linux.
We don't.
Okay, Linux. How much money, if we have all this and we just drive with it, we just leave with this, what we have, versus the money they were going to give us? Which way do we come out on top? I don't know money.
I know money. Hold on a sec. Let me think. Because I know a guy. A couple guys.
I know some people too.
Well, and you know offhand, even
Most of them are in here.
even after the repairs that you're gonna have to make to this vehicle is worth by itself worth what you're gonna get paid.
Okay.
Never mind the supplies you have on it. Like eating the loss of repairing it you're still ahead considerably.
We're gonna make bank. If we can get it all sold, even just having this vehicle to drive is worth it. Even if we eat the repairs, still gonna make it. And which shouldn't be hard. This is all really good stuff, and it looks like it's all in really good condition. We should be able to sell this real easy.
Do
And
we
maybe benefit our community as well. Wouldn't that be great, guys?
Yeah. Do we have to worry about Electra?
Why are you so afraid of that girl?
Hey, Fixer.
Because she's
Fixer.
very
Fixer.
yes.
Right turn.
Oh,
Klett says, I mean, is the biggest concern that we have for Electra is that the political situation in Morgantown suddenly becomes very, very boring. Okay. Electra is Trocera's insurance policy. She's what's keeping Trocera from getting assassinated.
So
Unless
Linux-
things get real peaceful or she runs out of enemies, Electra is going to be tied up for some time. There's also does she even know where you're from?
Do we even know where we're from?
yeah, I wrote it down in my underwear.
That's way too philosophical of a question for me right now, Emil. Maybe ever.
Linux, what way's home?
Do not say the sunset. That's just as bad.
Head towards the sunset.
okay.
Sun already set.
Second star to the right, not until morning. All right, I think that's where we'll wrap things up for this session. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about your adventure in the world of Dystopia Rising Evolution?
I have
That
a
was
lot of
fantastic.
concerns for our
That's a
characters.
good ending.
It's a really good ending. Yeah.
Thank you all. That was all you all. You all made a beautiful scene. Did anyone meet their aspirations in the course of today's session? Excellent. Which aspirations did you meet? Pray tell. Let's start with Linux. What aspirations did you knock out?
So my big one and my small one was I need to find a component of value and create something that improves the quality of life in my settlement.
I mean,
And the
yeah,
other thing was to field test a new technology. So unless you count the door traps, that one really doesn't count.
I would say that your ingenious use of the like hospital bed centipede,
Bed shoot.
the bed shoot. That's what
I
we're
was
calling
gonna next if
Doesn't
Vest
make it-
didn't take care of it, we were gonna make a torso shoot,
it.
but didn't need to.
So
all three.
I say you got all three. So you get that's 3 XP for you right there. No, that's 4 XP for you right there. I know you said you had grabbed a few. What did you get?
Creepy, but are creepy. Kill and
Yes.
die for family.
Yes, I would say that's both almost happened.
That wasn't an or scenario. That was an and scenario. And that was my long shot. And the other short one was make someone consider religious conversion. I just didn't think it would be me.
I'll allow it. That's 4 XP for aspirations. Vess, any aspirations get met?
My 2 short-term did not, but my long-term was to animal imprint on the group, and I feel like I have done that.
I believe that would be safe to say. So yes, you may have 2 XP for that. How about for Emil?
I forgot to give myself one of my short-term ones, but I did Gentle Dad proselytize, which was my other short one. My long one was to choose between the dad and the mushroom, and I'm not sure that we necessarily chose, but I think we are a little more committed to dadhood than we were before.
I'll allow it. I'll say, yeah, go ahead and have 3 for that. That's good. And then Fixer.
Be callous in the face of someone's pain.
I mean, yes, that definitely happened. The whole internet saw it a couple of times.
Okay. Let someone bleed for longer than needed.
I don't know if that one happened
I don't
because
think it did because I was pretty quick on the mark to fix people
Yeah,
this
you were
time.
fixing people up pretty fortunately
but-
for them.
I do think that the ending is find happiness away from home. Potentially was met.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, you were not at home and you found some happiness. I would say
Yeah,
there
it
was,
was the truck. Yeah.
yeah, you found happiness is a warm truck. So, and you did spend half the momentum pool in a single scene, probably more than once. So you can all have an XP for that. And you completed a group story, so that's 3 XP for everyone. So congratulations on your experience gains. Please note those on your sheets. And again, if you do happen to spend any XP on your characters, let me know so that I can make sure I reflect them in the Storypath Nexus release of the show notes from this session, which will include everybody's character sheets as they were when we started, and the notes that I used while making this game, including a couple notes that I've added as a result of play, such as stocking the weapons locker in the Mac, because that was something I hadn't even thought of until one of you asked about it. So, yeah, thank you all so much for joining me on this journey and for letting me tell this story with you. I have a feeling, based on our experiences, it's safe to say that this group may return again for future adventures. But in the interim, those of you who are watching at home, if you haven't done so, please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to have everyone give their outros. So I will start things off with Lep. Go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything you would like to plug, and then pass the mic to the next person, please.
Sure. I played Lep, Sensory Crisis of Faith, Burnt Piece of Toast. My name is Michael Pucci. I one of the core creators and the original designer of Dystopia Rising, the game we were fortunate enough to be in. Also working on Utopia Descending and a bunch of other tabletop materials. I can be found on Facebook as Mr. Pucci. And everything else outside of there, I really don't update ever. You can also find us on Most Improbable for events that we do for shits and giggles. Just want to say, actually, I really had a blast with this. It is incredibly rare to be on this side of the storyteller's screen, and I can't express how much I appreciate it and how much fun I've had with all of you. And
That's awesome.
I will pass it off now to Katie.
Hello, my name is Katie, pronouns she, her. I played Fixer during this amazing game, also she, her. Our very calloused healer, the most callous of healers. In my real life, I write a lot of tabletop materials and freelance for Onyx Path Publishing. I also do weddings. It was a ton of fun playing with all y'all. And I look forward to doing that again. And you can find me at Katie Griffin Writer on Facebook, or you can also check out the cool things that we do at Most Improbable. That's mostimprobable.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, although we haven't updated that recently. And I'm going to bring it over to Heather.
Hello, I am Heather Halstead. I played Vess, your lovely tainted violence technician, constantly covered in blood. It was a good time. My only regret is not having fake blood to put on my face during all that. She, her pronouns, both in the character and in real life. I had an absolute blast playing with you guys. This was great. I am a filmmaker. You can find me at Roughshod Films on Instagram and Twitch and Facebook and pretty much everywhere that there is social media stuff at varying levels of engagement. So yeah, and I will pass it to Jessie.
Hi, I'm Jessie. She, her pronouns. My character was Linux LimeWire, also she, her. And she was the Digitarian Jones with the heart of gold. Had a lot of fun as well. I love playing with my friends. Anytime I can play a game with you guys, it's always a pleasure. It's probably not worth it to find me on social network, but I am on Facebook under Jessie Elsinger if you want to look up dog pictures and lists of horror movies I watched this month. And Chris.
Hello, it's me, your good friend, Chris Kitts. I use he, him pronouns, as does my lovely unborn wandering mushroom dad, Emil Cantor. I also had a lovely time, and I also frequently do not get the opportunity to just play games anymore. And so it was a really delightful opportunity to get to just play and role play, which is literally all I give a shit about. I make restaurants go, and also I am a DJ in my other time. So if you have any interest in like finding out about events I'm doing, or I guess if you're looking at my Twitter for some reason, my weird monster horny shit, DJ Stygian, Stygian, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But Instagram is where cats go. There's nothing going on there. Back to Jesse. Or back to Travis.
I feel like
Jesse can take over too. That's
all
fine.
of you. It's such a pleasure seeing you guys all today. So bye, and see y'all on Onyx Path. And Travis, it's your turn.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And Michael, did we jump your pronouns?
I jumped over them. I go by he, they.
Thank you so much. And that reminds me, I'm Travis Legge. He, him, they is fine too. When I'm not doing this, I am writing games, running games, all that good stuff, either here or over at Class Gauge Plays, or over at twitch.tv/Roll for Seduction, where I run some of my own D&D stuff. There were things I was going to promote, forgot what the hell they were. Oh, I bet you right now, if you go to Kickstarter, you'll be able to pick up a copy of Anima, Trinity Continuum Anima, which you should. You may have noticed in a few of our streams prior, certain interruptions breaking into the broadcast. Those are all related to Trinity Continuum Anima, and it is going to be a super fun game, so you should check it out. You should also go pick up literally everything for Dystopia Rising Evolution. Get in on the ground floor while you still can just easily pick up everything for Dystopia Rising Evolution, including the core book, the storyteller screen, Helna's Guide to Beasties. There's Heroes of the Waste. There's a ton of great books you can pick up and dive in. And you can also supplement your experience with the LARP manuals. While you're picking up LARP books, you can also use those as material to create your own stories and sell them over at Storypath Nexus, which is exactly what I'm going to do with the show notes from this show. I would just like to take one more moment to thank you all for joining as players. This has been super cool and not at all intimidating to run the setting for the person that created it. I'm really touched and glad that you all had a good time. This was a riot for me. My favorite thing in the universe is seeing emotive reactions from players. And so my cup runneth over with this crew. It was good to see, that the blows were landing, as the case may be. Those of you watching, again, please be sure to share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you're getting your flu shots and wear a mask and get your vaccinations, your boosters. Everybody is approved for boosters now, I think, pretty much. And I think by now the kids are good too. So if you got, curtain climbers, get them stuck too. And we will see you on the flip. Take care of yourselves and each other.